Should we talk about healing? Should we talk about discussing or developing our psychic abilities? We'll start with a disclaimer. I am a mystic, psychic, medium, human, a spirit having a human experience. I specialize in being a human, subtle energies, and self-discovery, I suppose. My latest passion is subtle energy and somatic experiencing, becoming more involved in the body, which brings me into some psychic development. So here we're going to go into this. Why is, as we develop, so whether you're just wanting to develop your intuition more, whether you're developing psychic or developing medium, or maybe you already are those things and visiting my channel because of the link of healing, whatever the reasons you're here, mental, emotional, physical. So what does somatics in the body have to do with psychic development? And it has to do with this. The experiences we feel in our body, just touching something, smelling, hearing, seeing, the more detail you look at something and you really notice the detail, and then you close your eyes and you can visualize that. How well can you bring back sound? How well all of these things, when we use our psychic ability, okay, the more in depth and able to embrace the experiences that having a body, all our senses, the more in depth we're able to experience these, the more we're able to regulate our nervous system and be in a body that's regulated. Regulation is safe. So, on a conscious level, thus an unconscious level, all these things we're open to and we feel safe with. How does this have to do with psychic things, psychic development, and psychic perception? And it's this. Okay. And all these things have to do with awareness, of course, and increasing our consciousness level. But if you are afraid to hear something or see something or feel an experience in your body as a psychic, do you think that you would be open to experiencing those things, like picking them up on a psychic level from energy? So, as an example, I mirror people, right? Or as an empath, I realize empath and mirroring is the same thing. I'm extremely empathic. If you're a very empathic psychic, this would apply to you and you will know what I'm talking about. Energetically, we are always receiving information and it comes in through our subconscious. And when we can become consciously aware that we're receiving it, we have more control over ourselves and over, oh, that's somebody else's emotion, physical thing. Okay. If we're afraid to experience or have an experience or feel uncontrolled, not safe in our body, why would our conscious and subconscious mind allow us to have information that we have access to if we don't feel safe enough to do so? That's the link. Okay. If we don't feel safe to experience a regulated nervous system, like for, I can only use myself as an example. If you come from trauma and you're not used to being regulated, and you give a psychic reading to somebody who's very regulated, then you're not going to be able to mirror and get as much information from them because there's areas that feel unsafe. And so that area becomes blocked. If you're not willing to dive deep into your physical body and the experiences that your physical body has, and you don't feel safe doing that, it's going to create blocks in the information you can receive. If you aren't aware of it, maybe there's certain types of music or certain sounds, or maybe um, just as, I guess, an example, I can only use myself as an example at this point, right? But since becoming more friends with my body, diving deeper into my experiences, really feeling safer to actually really like really noticing, using my physical senses to help regulate my body has actually increased the information that I'm able to get energetically and psychically. So, with sound as an example, before I would tune out sounds very easily because when I was young, there'd be loud music all the time and scary sounds, and people like you just tune things out because it's safer to do that sometimes. For whatever survival reason, you needed to tune out sounds. And so it becomes normal to not hear certain things, to tune out sound. So now for myself, to be really present, I actually will focus on sound because then I know that I'm present. Now I find that spirit will give me music more often, more sounds. When I'm remote viewing, I can get the sense of sounds now, right? Remote viewing, I go to a place to have an experience, and there's more sound-like vibrations able to come. Maybe we're not used to seeing with our eyes, or, we're not used to speaking or like touch. So there's a psychic exercise as an example that uses all these things for manifestation visualizations become more powerful. So you've heard of the people, as an example, who broke their back and they use visualizations to heal because they imagine themselves walking around, right? But if you aren't sinking into and into your body, and if you have a history of trauma and not used to being regulated, and whatever, for whatever reason, your body is not your friend for some reason, and you're not used to really just being present and tripping out on the ness that is feeling, and just really, like all your, if you're a pie, your consciousness is a pie. How much of the pie of your consciousness of what you're currently attention to, even just sitting here, how much is focused on listening to me? How much is focused on feeling your body in the chair? So maybe 60% of your consciousness is listening to me and watching me on the screen on your phone. Shift for a second. More of your focus to your body, to be present. Really, move your hand, open and close it, and really just focus on it. It's a very regulating experience. right? All that focus. So one of the ways to regulate your nervous system is focusing on the senses. So those people who went from broken back to being able to walk deeply experience these or visualizations. But if you're not used to the feeling of immersing yourself in the feeling of what it feels like for your legs to move when you're walking, because a lot of the time we just go around subconsciously, you know, not even paying attention to what it feels like to walk around with our legs or move our arm, right? Maybe we could be more easily more grateful by spending some time with these things because it will help us manifest. To feel, they say that to manifest, you close your eyes and you imagine the thing already happened. And you can rewrite things, right? But if you're not have a lot of experience what it feels like with your body and you break your arm and you want to fix your arm better or whatever, but you don't have a lot of memory of immersion in your body to know what it feels like to move your arm normally, what are you referencing off of? And maybe I went off on a total tangent, but it all, when we're communicating with spirit, they're only able to reference things that we've experienced. We're going to only become conscious of information that we get on an energetic level that we're able to feel safe receiving. If for some reason you are petrified, or not petrified necessarily, but maybe you have some trauma with the sound of a seagull, okay? That is not going to be something that you're going to be open to receiving psychically, the sound of a seagull. So, like, it's not going to be as, oh, you're not going to be as open to receiving that information. So, say you're remote viewing somewhere and there just happens to be an ocean or somewhere where there's seagulls, and that's information that you're not as likely to receive. Maybe that place feels very unsafe. It's going to throw off your psychic information because that beast might feel totally unsafe because of the trauma of what happened when there was the sound of a seagull. Right? So your body responds to the psychic information. It's a lot of the reason that those of us, some people who use their psychic abilities to stay safe for survival reasons, our nervous system is very in tune energetically to stuff around us. And so knowing subtle energies, how we perceive things, and then noticing how it affects our body is very empowering. Knowing that, okay, that there's this thing and that is what I'm picking up, and I can calm my body down and work with my body. It's very empowering to do. So as psychics and mediums, this is probably a long rambling video, but maybe it makes sense and maybe it doesn't, whatever. So as mediums and psychics, knowing how to work with our nervous system is actually really important, uh, especially for long-term health of our body. When we work with spirit and we do things psychically, it can actually ramp up and activate our nervous system in ways. That's a lot of different energies. It's a lot of causing a lot of um, firing in our nervous system along those lines. So say you do reading, it can activate things. Being able to down regulate and become calm and really ground well. Like if you have a work with spirit and stuff and you have a hard time grounding, look into somatic experiencing, nervous system regulation. Very serious. I never could ground. It's very interesting correlation between feeling safe in our body and right. So to heal your body, maybe you have chronic health problems or something, and you're psychic and a medium, nervous system regulation going to be the key for you. When we feel safe in our body, we just are better psychically. I noticed in the last 8 months a boost, enough of a boost for me to want to talk about it and totally say yes, there's 100%. Maybe you have experiences where you've worked more somatically and feel safer in your body and can ground more. And you noticed a difference. It's actually psychic protection also to be able to be more connected and in your body. So yeah, I think I'll finish. If you actually watch this whole video, feel free to write in the comments and share your experiences or questions. But you know, a lot of people have passions and stuff. This is my passion, the human experience, the link between energy, body, mind, all of it, how we experience, how we can, is good. Have a nice day.
Do it up.